The Motorola One Power. Lenovo-owned Motorola's surprisingly competitive Android One offering. I spent almost a week with this as my primary smartphone, and in today's video, I'm gonna share with you my experience. But before that, if this is your first time here, or if you've still not recovered from the shock that was the One Power announcement and can't remember, my name's Ash, you're watching C4E Tech, and welcome to my full review of the Motorola One Power. Let's get started. If you do end up liking this video, please don't forget to turn on notifications by clicking that bell icon down below. It helps a lot, guys, so please go on, do it. And oh yeah, here's a card to our monthly giveaway in case you've missed it. I mean, we say it on every video, but then if you've missed it for some reason, check that out. So one of the things I was wary about with the One Power was that 5000 mAh battery. Usually phones with huge battery capacities feel bulky and difficult to use. The One Power in hand, yes, it is heavier than the rest given the over 200 gram weight. It's almost 205 grams, but it's not by much the in hand feel. It's almost 9 millimeters thick, yes, but it doesn't feel like a bulky phone for some reason. And given we are talking about build, let me point out a few other things. We finally get the Moto logo in the fingerprint scanner. This is something we've been asking for since the Moto M. Anyway, this scanner wasn't the fastest, but it was accurate. It was a little slower than the competition, kind of it was faster than Samsung, but slower than the rest. The headphone jack and micro SD options are still present, unlike with some of the competition. The headphone jack output was also good. I tested it out using this pair of headphones from Galaxy's sub-brand Zanova, and it was clean. The audio via the single speaker was very loud too. The keys aren't the clickiest, but they were okay. We get USB Type-C, and for the build, Moto's used a fair bit of metal, but from a look standpoint, the One Power doesn't really stand out. So the build quality is good, but the design is quite ordinary. Moto's also updated their display here. To the front, we get a 6.2-inch IPS LCD panel with a Full HD Plus resolution. This is a 19:9 panel, meaning yay, there's a notch. Now, Motorola is calling this Max Vision. Sadly, there is no option to hide the notch. That said, the panel itself is good, bright with nice colors and excellent viewing angles. So if I had one complaint, it would be the fact that there is no gesture support, so the navigation keys are always on, except for full screen apps, of course. Well, this is more of an Android One thing than a Moto thing, so it's not really a complaint, but I still feel it's worth pointing out. So while on the topic of Android One, the Motorola One Power runs on stock Android 8.1. Motorola is promising quick updates and promising Pi before the end of the year, with Q eventually. But as with most Lenovo Moto promises, please take it with a grain of salt. They don't really have a good track record with updates, and only time will tell how they handle the One Power's updates. What we can talk about now today is the user experience, and that's good. Apps launch quick, there's little bloat, and of course no ads in the settings menu. Moto features like chop to turn on flashlight, Moto display, they are all available here. Motorola has also included an FM radio. Now, jumping between two apps, running them side by side, it was all good. There is the occasional stutter, but for the most part it's been a great experience, and that's thanks in large to the Snapdragon 636 chip inside. This is a very capable chip that we've seen in the past on many phones. Yes, there are phones with the Snapdragon 660 in this segment, but given stock Android here, the user experience is almost as good. The One Power is great for day-to-day usage and can even run some intensive games. We tried Asphalt 9, PUBG, and a few other titles, and for the most part, the One Power had no issues running them smoothly. It's not the highest graphical settings, yes, but the experience was good. Note that the Snapdragon 636 is coupled with 4 gigs of RAM and 64 gigs of onboard storage, with an option to expand it further via a dedicated microSD slot, so it's not hybrid. And to round off the specs, we have a 5000 mAh battery. Now, sometimes with high capacity batteries, the phone doesn't offer the battery life that we expect from it. No, this is not a shot at the Zenfone Max Pro. The battery life on the Zenfone Max Pro was great, but it performed more like a Xiaomi Redmi Note 5 Pro, as in more like a 4000 mAh battery phone. We didn't get that extra 25% we expected, But that's not the case here with the Motorola One Power. Now this is a battery champ, that much needed spiritual successor to the Lenovo P2. Does anybody remember that phone? I loved it. Anyway, the battery life was excellent, with moderate usage. Getting through 2 days on a single charge was not an issue at all. Even when pushed with GPS usage, camera and gaming, the One Power easily got me through a day. The fact that this phone supports turbocharge and the turbocharger is included in the box is just icing on the cake. The One Power goes from 0 to 100 in a little over 2 hours, 2 hours 15. Remember, this is a 5000 milliamp hour battery, so those are pretty awesome numbers. And to give you some perspective, the iPhone XS Max, that's priced 5 times more than the One Power, takes over 3 hours to go from 0 to 100 for a roughly 3000 milliamp hour battery with the included charger. Hey Apple. Oh, by the way, I almost forgot, since a lot of you asked, yes, the One Power has wideband L1, so it can stream HD video with apps like Amazon Prime and Netflix. Now, with that said, let's move on to the cameras. The Motorola One Power has 2 of them to the back. A primary 16 megapixel camera with an f1.8 lens paired with a 5 megapixel depth sensor. Under good light, these cameras perform well. They're not the best in class. That would be the Mi A2. But this is quite a competent shooter. There's ample detail in the images. The colors can get a bit cool at times, but for the most part, they were natural. The dynamic range was also okay. The presence of a depth sensor meant that this phone can shoot portrait shots, but for some weird reason, it can only do it 18:9 and with a very awkward crop. The colors are a little off here too. Under low light, the One Power struggles. The hardware isn't quite up to the task, and Motorola compensates by pushing the ISO hard, resulting in bright but noisy images. It's still usable, but like I said earlier, it's not the best camera in the segment. Here's a comparison with the Mi A2 just to give you some perspective for low light. For video, this one can shoot up to 4K at 30 FPS. There's reasonable detail. The dynamic range is again average, but the footage does look okay. There's no major issues, no focus hunting or abrupt exposure changes. That said, the lack of any kind of stabilization, OIS or EIS, definitely does hurt the end result. As far as the 12 megapixel f2 selfie camera is concerned, it shoots crisp images with good detail. There is a selfie portrait option available, and that works okay too. Overall, with the cameras, the One Power is just a little above average. Cameras are definitely not its strong suit, and this isn't why you should be buying this phone. What you'd want to be buying it for is that amazing battery life, stock Android One without bloat, no ads, the user experience, which happens to be quite good thanks to a very capable Snapdragon 636 underneath. The rest, the build, the display, the cameras, they're not bad, they're acceptable, and the 16K price tag makes this an offering you should probably consider. The Motorola One Power is a very capable all-rounder that's quite reasonably priced. If the pros I mentioned are important to you, you should most definitely get it. You won't be disappointed. One alternative to it would be the Mi A2, and I've already done an in-depth comparison between the two, so here's a card, check that out if you want to. If you want to see a Motorola One Power versus Nokia 6.1 Plus, an in-depth comparison there, let me know in the comments and I'll try to get that done. And I guess that about wraps up this review. So what did you think about the One Power? Do you feel Lenovo's Motorola is finally turning things around? Do you think this is the phone that we've all been waiting for and wish the Moto G6 Plus did not exist and this was just called the G6 Plus? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And with that, it is now time I bid you adieu. Please share this video with friends and family if you can. Thumbs up, thumbs down based on what you felt about this video. Also subscribe and turn on notifications by clicking that bell icon so that you don't miss out on any of our daily content. Thanks a lot for watching. Till next time, my name's Ash. You've been watching C4 Retech and I'm signing off for now. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye.